My Volantene, and well met indeed. My name is Stag, and welcome back to the Celtigar Dynasty as we continue on about 7 years in the future from the last of the civil wars that took place. Today is a day on the 5th of November, which of course is the bonfire night. For those in the, well, I think it's across the whole world now, isn't it, really, I think, but I'm sure it's in the, I'm sure it's some other countries do it as well, but for us it's Bonfire Night, which is the night that Guy Fawkes attempted to blow up Parliament. Unfortunately, it didn't go well for him, and he was hung, I think. Was he hung, drawn, and quartered? I'm not quite sure, but I believe he was hung. But yes, and ever since then it's been Bonfire Night, which is where we light fireworks every day. But I'm going to a fireworks show later this evening with my grandma and various other relatives, and my dad and my auntie and whoever the hell shows up. I mean, my work colleague who actually lives near my grandma's may even make an appearance as well. So who knows? But yeah, basically it's a nice like thing we do at the care home, and they basically light fireworks out in the like car park bit, which is where everyone, well, obviously you can't park there, but they use the place quite nicely for fireworks. Two other things that are coming to a close is about to happen. My garden is about to be finished of the decking. That's all about to be done, which is good, so we can enjoy that in summer, come the summer this year, next year, sorry. Also, this is my last day before I go back to work, so yay. I'm so excited, you can tell. So that's happening, but it's not too bad. But I've had worse jobs, but yeah, I'm going back to work tomorrow, so that'd be fun. I mean, I only do like 4 days a week, mostly. Sometimes 5, but mostly it's 4 days a week, which is pretty good for me, anyway. But yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh, yes, and I'm also looking, I haven't quite made a decision officially, but I've been looking through I'm looking at the current views of the Aegon episode, and I'm going to see how it does for views. And I'm going to give it some thought. And if I still decide, you know what, yeah, this series isn't really working out, what I will do is just delete that episode, and I will start up a new series doing the House of the Dragon scenario. And I will do Aegon Targaryen, because Aegon won that vote, so I think we're going to start with Aegon. And then what I will do, Aegon Targaryen being the 6th incarnation, and I will do a few polls where I decide what character you want me to play next. So maybe the next poll might be between Daenerys Targaryen, it might be Aegon the Conqueror, it might be Maegor the Cruel, it might also be Aegon the Second in the Dance of Dragons, stuff like that, and eventually we'll play through that and each character as we go on, without a particular order. I feel like if I did a particular order, I would limit myself. So if I play as Aegon the Conqueror, and then we move on to, say for example, like the Dance of Dragons, and then someone says, oh, you should have done this with Aegon, I think, oh yeah, that's cool, but we've moved on now, so I can't really go back. So the idea is I'd like to be able to have that freedom to go back and do things that I want to. And I think, I feel like if I restrict myself and do it in a particular order, I then sort of, I mean, it makes sense to do the chronological order, so I might put a poll up and ask you, do you want me to do chronological order, or would you rather do it at whenever, basically? But yeah, let me know, I guess. And what I will have to do, if we do it in the chronological order, I just have to make sure I cover every single scenario I can think of as we go through the dynasty. So yeah. But yeah, it's a shame to call the character series to an end. But again, I'm looking at the views, I'm seeing how I feel, but I just think if it's not very popular, you shouldn't bother doing it. But I will look at the poll. I mean, a lot of people like the idea of, 20% voted for like Renly, and the other 20% voted for the Harald Hardrada. So possibly, we could maybe do a House of the Stag series later on. A House of like the Vikings or something, probably a different name, but like the Viking saga or something like that, and then players like really cool Vikings throughout history, and maybe do like House of England or the Dynasty, House of the English or something like that, and basically play as all the English kings and whatnot, all the key English historical figures and whatnot in CK2. Or CK3 if it's any that the CK2 doesn't have, I guess. We're looking to that. But I think there's a few actually. But I would need to pay money for DLCs, and I don't know if I want to spend money on that yet. But I will spend the first little while going through and recapping you on all what's taken place recently with the whole changing of everything. So let's start with the north. Well, basically, I should start with what happened. So the Ironborn is still in a rebellion. They're not fighting that other rebellion they had earlier. Although it didn't end. Although it ended quite recently. But this is a peasant revolt going on. But that'll be over soon. Basically, another war began when I discovered that a lord was trying to have me killed. So I had him imprisoned, and a bunch of lords rose up. A bunch of high lords all rose up in rebellion. And thanks to the willpower of my dragon, Stormcloud, we survived. Just about. Without Stormcloud, the war would have been lost, and Aegon would definitely probably be dead, and the dynasty would be over. And this series will be over. But yeah, so another war broke out, and we had to fight them, and it basically took about 4 years. And that 4 years was just me riding around, killing people, seizing the land, using the dragon, and that was basically it. It was just basically a quick fire operation of killing the enemy, and that was it basically. So yeah, we slaughter our enemies and defeated them, which is rather handy. Basically what I did then is when I went around and basically had all the High Lords stripped of their titles. I left them as lords, like counts, for example. But yeah, any other counts and lords, like lesser lords, for example, I can't show you, but yeah, lesser lords, like, for example, these guys, I left them alive. I took a hostage and let them keep their lands. But any High Lords, like, for example, not him, but like, for example, the High Lords, I took the High Lordships away and basically sent them to the Night's Watch or either to death, or let them go if they paid a nice ransom. It's not very just likely. It's not very justice, is it? Or like handing everyone the same punishment with the same brush, I guess. But we're not really very in keeping with justice, so forget that. I also did Lord Paramount, so stripped of all their titles and basically gave it to another house that I like better. And that was basically the gist. So what I'll do, I'll go through and recap the dragons, the Kingsguard, who's in charge of what, and then we'll jump forth into another civil war, because we're not done yet. Aegon is a man of great conviction and great will, and he has a lot of unfinished business to do. He's very devout and ensuring that he's here to restore, basically keep his family alive, and basically just clear all the people that hate him, to make sure that his kingdom is safe for himself and for his children. And also to show that the Celtigar Dynasty is here to stay, and we have 500,000 men to do so. Although it's mainly our vassals. So yes. So I'll recap you on what's happened. We'll start with the north. We'll do it in de jure, I think it's the best way to show you. So in, obviously you may recall, White Harbour and Broken Arm. Some of these are under the Boltons, but some of these are now... this guy's my friend, actually. I didn't even... Was he? Who's that? No idea. But we're friends, apparently. Okay. Yeah, so the Manderleys, I gave back them White Harbour because I believe... because the lineage of House Manderley that fought against me was Wyler Manderley, and she is nowhere near the current people who's left. So I gave it to Lord Desmond of White Harbour, and he's now the new Lord of White Harbour. These places are currently somewhere under Bolton control, but most of these are actually independent. The Barrowlands, I'm not quite sure what happened to the Barrowlands, because I had people... yeah, I had this guy sent to the wall, and his son took over, but then the Starks suddenly, like, seized power. And then these guys, the Stouts, are now the new lords of that. So they got kind of punished anyway. Out of the House Stark, they are been restored to the north. Reynard Stark has been banished to the wall. My traitorous aunt has run away to the Rills and married a Risewell. But she is a traitor. Yeah, I basically did ransoms and let them go, essentially. But I have no love for my aunt. She has basically just left. And yeah, we don't care much for her. Yeah, he was banished to the wall. His son, Lord Edwin, is now the Lord of Winterfell. And I granted, because he's miles out of the line of succession, and it's a different lineage of the Starks, not actually Crackens lineage, I gave it to my friend, Eric Stark, who is actually a cruel, same ruthless, and he is actually a good friend of mine. So I thought, actually, that's a good idea. Make some of my friend Lord of the North, who is a Stark, which also is rather handy. His brother is Lord of the Stony Shore and married to a Northlands woman, so that's pretty secure. So if he doesn't have any kids, at least that way, this guy will take over. He's got a fair bit of power. Now, it is a lineage that not is affiliated to Crackclaw Stark, but so how that'll go down in the lore, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I've named Eric the Lord of Winterfell and Warden of the North, so hopefully we'll do well. The Night's Watch had a leadership change. Byam Karstark is now the new Lord Commander. The Kingdom of Beyond the Wall ended because this guy got killed. He was assassinated. And that's the end of the Night's Watch. I think that, actually no, I think that happened ages ago. I'm forgetting. Oh dear. But start with the Vale. Not a lot's happening in the Nine Isles, they're just doing their own thing. The bite went to a peasant lord, but they have actually reclaimed it for me, which is handy. The Giant's Lance and the Arryns, they are still sort of alive, although her father, of course, was killed by a dragon, and she lost her lance and titles and was sent off back to the Eyrie. The Northfield I granted to Lord Elben Coldwater. Lord Raleigh's father was sent to the Wall. The Breakstones have been given the Eastwold, and the Hunter Lord, whoever it was it this guy? I think this guy rebelled, and I took his, I think it was his father, actually. No, it was this guy. Yeah, Mikkel the Warrior, who is a distant descendant, like his great-grandfather. But he obviously went to the war and is now dead. I know, yeah, they joined me. Wickenden is not a lordship yet, and I granted the Vale to the Belmores, which of course fought for me, and I had a kid that I could marry my son to. Daemon is betrothed to Lady Leonella of the Vale, and we've made them lords of the Vale, which is interesting. I've never seen much of the Belmores become the High Lords of anything really, or Lords of Paramounts of anything. So I thought, yeah, let's give them to the Belmores. I don't see much of them, so why not? And also, he's married to a Grafton as well, so that's sort of, I can't remember if the Graftons still hold it, but they do. Yeah, so that. Yeah, I mean, the Grafton Lord himself does not like me at all, because I killed his father. But yeah, he didn't rebel against me. I think he must have been in the war, but I didn't get an option to take his stuff, so. But yeah, the Belmores are Lords of the Vale, which is a good choice. I think that's a good idea. I'm happy with that choice. And this guy's... These guys had another peasant rebellion, and we had them. I basically took them over. I know the Elishams have lost their lands, unfortunately, but I can't do much there. The Belmores are Lords of the Vale. Moving on to the Riverlands, which had the most changes to leadership and whatnot. We'll start with Butterwells. Obviously, we had before the Shoreham was taken by by Edison, who was beheaded and is dead. I found the Wodes, who were of course the original lords of this of Shoreham. I granted them back that land. But I didn't make them the High Lords. I made Butterwell. I can't remember why. I think they already were the High Lords actually. Yeah, so I just gave them that. Yeah, Darry has their lands back, but only because it was his brother that fought against me. So his brother had no part in it, and I named him as High Lord of that. That because the Salt Pans were owned by a very lesser house. I don't even know who they are, so I don't care too much for them. Vance was sent to the Wall, who is mad and possessed, and the cannibal. Yeah, you got to add that one in. So I granted Harrenhal to the Westlings, who are actually now the. I think there's some other Westlings. I don't think the Westlings even hold the crag anymore. No. Well, he does, but he's not the High Lord or anything. So they now rule over the Harrenhal, so we'll see if the curse does wonders in their household or not. The Vances, this guy was sent to the Wall, who was banished to die in the lands. Okay, he was banished apparently. He died of, Jesus, yeah, whatever hell happened to him, I have no idea, but he's dead. Vance was granted that land left, and gave the Smallwoods the High Lords of the Wayfarers a rest. Yeah, the Pink Maiden guy was sent to the Wall. Why are they all mad and possessed? What's going on? And I gave Aegon's Ridge to the Harleton family. Riverrun, who is, I think, about to die out, actually. Look, they have... It's not many of them left. Yeah, the Tullys are almost certainly to be wiped out soon, but I granted Riverrun to the Chamber family. I gave, so she, was it her I rebelled, I think? Yeah. And her son is actually the Lord of the Vale, which I didn't notice, but she was originally married to a Belmore. But what I've done is I've I've stripped over the High Lordship and I've granted it to the Goodbrook family. Might be a few border issues there later on, but we'll worry about that for the Riverlands to deal with later on. Willowwood Riders, who was it that was in charge before? Edwin, but his son had it revoked. I granted it to House Terrick, who is just further north of them. The Trident, which I didn't do myself, it seems that it's been split between... Well, it seems this lady has... the Mandrakes have the Trident bit there, although only one province. The Blackwoods have had their stuff revoked, and House Page rules over the Blackwood Vale. Seaguard the Master still hold on to that. The Oldstones, I granted that to the Viperin family, who rule over that land. The Oldstones was lost to a ruin, unfortunately. And the Crossing, I revoked, actually, the Targaryens that held it, because I didn't really want them in charge. And the Targaryens didn't really like me much anyway, so them off the twins, I thought was a good idea. I looked around a bit, and I found the last remaining members of House Frey. I can't remember if I don't look for these guys. No, House Hay is all dead. But I thought I'd give the Crossing back to the Freys. I did contemplate possibly the Muds, but unfortunately all the Muds are dead, as you can see here. All gone, so the House Frey seems to be the only option left. And I went through all the Lords and wondered who could I give lands to, and none of them really interested me, so I thought, well, why don't we give it to the Freys? I know the Freys in Game of Thrones canon are hated, and I'm sure many of you will not like the fact that I've given it to the Freys, but I just, yeah. There was no one else that I thought would be better, and I thought the Freys giving them back the Trident and the Crossing, and then making them Lords of the Riverlands would be a way to get them on side, so I've done that. And I've betrothed my daughter, Eleanor, who was recently born, to Lord Duncan of the Trident, so hopefully we're getting a very loyal house in charge of that. Oh yes, another thing that's happening as well that's quite eventful is the American election is kicking off in the US at the moment. Although I don't think we'll find out the results for quite a while yet, but I believe the polls have opened in the US at this time. But by the time you're watching this video, they would have already decided who the hell is going to take over as president over there. Moving on, the Lannisters still control. I'll go over the who's left actually as well. Tywell, my brother-in-law, is still Lord of the West. His heir is his son Tywell. Balon is still in charge of the Iron Isles, although his son looks to be taken over soon. The Florents rule over the Reach at the moment. And they're alright, I guess. Now, I'm going to be dealing with these guys soon, don't you worry, but Wendell Martell still holds this, and so does Lord Stannis Baratheon. Bathan Targaryen controls Rexstone, the little island down here. You've also got, in the south, you've got the... If I can click on them because it's so bloody tiny. You've got Laenor Targaryen, the grandson of Viserys, and Aegon's son, who was killed by Maelor. He still controls the Sunset Isles, with a little revolt over here with some Pirate Lord, who I overthrew. There is actually a High Lordship I can control here, but it's all part of that. But yeah, so I revoked that, and I'm currently holding on to it myself. I'll probably deal with it at some point. I probably should rename it to Isle Crab, shouldn't I, actually? I'll leave it for now. We've got this guy in charge of one of the isles over there, the Isle Flies. This guy controls the two isles here, the Isle Serpents and the Howling Mountain, so he controls that. And moving on to the Crown Lands, where there has been quite a fair bit of a movement in all this. So now originally I named as Lord of Dragonstone, Prince of Dragonstone. I named it to this guy, but he actually invaded and took Dragonstone, and then tried to invade these guys. So I stripped it off him and basically revoked it. And now he's just in charge of Dragonstone and a few castles in the Crab's Mount. Aegon, another one, his brother actually now rules over Claw Isle, which wasn't really my plan, but originally I planned for Valentine to keep it and the Targaryen girl to hold Dragonstone, but unfortunately he's been too ambitious, and he's taken over Dragonstone, and Aegon's in charge of Claw Isle. So we no longer control Claw Isle because we are now controlling Iron Throne. Granted, again, I have given him Dragonstone, but I intended to have him Driftmark, and the Celtigars were going to rule over the Dragonstone area, but that didn't work out. And Aegon is now the Dragonstone Lord, who is also my friend as well. I've been friends with both of the Scales sons. Or Ardrian, I guess, is my friend. And his sons were friends. We were like raised together. So, unfortunately, Aegon lost his leg. I think that might have been a dragon. He was trying to gain a dragon, and I'll talk about the dragons later. But there's one in Driftmark that he was trying to tame. I think it might have just killed, take his leg off. His other brother went off to the Sceptry, unfortunately, which is fine. It was entirely his wish. And Ardrian, sorry, is still alive. Although his succession isn't too great. But, there you go. I found some of the Massies who were still alive, who were actually the son of this guy. Who was my rival I sent to the wall ages and ages and ages ago. Long time ago. But I found a relatively lost, sort of the last of the Massies. I granted them Sharp Point, as they couldn't really give them Stone Dance, so they were all over Sharp Point. Ramsden controls this. So that's that. And the Followers control Massey's Hook. I think it's just some random house that holds that. Over in the Kingswood, I gave it to my friend Jorgen, who's been a friend, and he's been like the Lord that's been fighting literally every single army in ages. And he survived the war, so I thought I'd give him the lands of Kingswood, and I gave him his own little house of Kingswood. So he rules over that. Hopefully he has a son to continue his lineage, but yeah. So he controls that. I was fortunate to grab the Organizer trait myself, so that was handy. Over in Dalston Keep, I'll show you the guy that we had sent off to the this guy, who he eventually died beyond the wall. I gave it to a descendant of his brother, who was more of a lower lord than him. I granted him the lordship of Dalston Keep. Other than that, I think that's pretty much not really a lot to say over there. I found the Bruins, who this guy had fashioned for himself Apple Eater. So I thought I'll give him... the Bruins used to rule over, like, the... they used to hold the castle of Diaden. But that was taken by this guy. And then eventually these guys now rule it. So I've given the Bruins a bit of better land, and they've got now the control of the Great Fork. I couldn't find the Borneys, I think, who used to rule over that. They all died out, apart from one, but she's like 58. So that's basically over for them. I've got 4 castles under my control, so I'm going to keep those in the city. I'll go over the King's Guard in a second. The King's Landing is currently been given to my kinsman Davos, who is the son of Alan, but he's not in my court, unfortunately. And he's not coming. Oh, I forgot to turn this off. So I was setting up something for you'll see in a minute, but I've left it on, so I'm going to turn it off. So Davos is the commander of the Gold Cloaks and rules over King's Landing as the military commander. Hayford still controlled that. The Rosby High Lordship I gave to Lord Tristan Belgrave, who has a hell of a lot of sons, isn't he? That's his seducer focus for you. It seems a lot of them are actually illegitimate. Birchall I gave to the Stokesworths, who's the last of their lineage, so it's going to be the Lady Brights that will take over soon. This is still held by one of the Hayfords, who took it recently. Duskendale, you had Jason, who took over, but he was executed by me. And then this guy was sent to the wall, who's actually first steward. This guy and this woman, this woman I should say, is the Lady of Duskendale. And her daughter is a Buckweld. I think it seems the Selmies will eventually take over, which is a little iffy there. I found the Crabs. I granted House Crab the Lordship of Rook's Rest. And obviously over here you have Jane the Short, who continues to control the Whispers. Her heir actually, because for some reason it's seniority succession, which is good because you'd have these people, the Aethans, in charge, and I don't even know who the hell they are. But yeah, so it's going to be Laura Targaryen is going to take over. So, and Vaynor actually died on suspicious circumstances. Someone bumped her off, I reckon. But Jane controls the Crackclaw Point for now, which is fine. Yes. Also, we've been excommunicated twice. The first time I managed to sort it out because we had the Faith, and basically the current High Septon said to me he wanted the Faith authority to be high. So I did that, and I upped it to high, and I got the excommunication taken away. But he died, and a few other High Septons, I think, took over afterwards. But his current one dislikes me a hell of a lot, and he decided to just excommunicate me. He wouldn't. I couldn't even like. I think he wanted to be independent. To me to not be excommunicated. So I basically told him to sod off. Basically, because I'm not making him independent. He can die. So basically, in anger, Aegon went around and basically, with his power, changed all the laws. He had the obligation moved up to noble, so it's just balanced either way. He had the realm authority up to high. He dropped the minimum authority of the faith down to minimum faith authority. And basically, he just did a bunch of stuff to sort out the succession. And various other laws. He's also dishonorable because basically I kept getting loads of these bloody like, you owe me this money, you owe me that amount of money. I know it's probably the lords and vassals that have owed them money, but I'm not doing it. They can sod off. I'm not paying them their loans. So I got dishonorable trade. I also got burnt during all these like battles. There was a dragon conflict we had as well, which Stormcloud killed. Oh no, that's not this one. Visenya, who was Aegon Valyrian's dragon, who has been sent to the wall. In fact, House Valyrian is pretty much... Oh no, it's not quite dead. Aegon lives. But he's 45, so you probably should get a move on with children, otherwise he's going to, be dead. I'll help him out there. But yeah, my dragons killed quite a lot of people in this war. Gemtail died years ago. But Visenya was one that was taken out. He's also got Beast of War, so yeah, Stormcloud's very powerful. 85 dragon. He is the only, not the only, but he's like the one of the strongest dragons left, next to Stocklags. Those two are probably possibly Predators. No, not really. No, these two are probably the biggest dragons that are actually left alive after the whole war. But it's not over. We are far from done with wars because I'm going to arrest the Baratheons and the Martells because they deserve death. After all the shit they pulled recently. He's also got a dragon. He's actually, because I think he's... I'm not quite sure how he's got a dragon, because he's not really... Yeah, because he's not a Targaryen. So, how he's got a dragon, I have no idea, but he's riding Childfire, which is another dragon. I'll talk about them in a second. But yeah, we are going to go to war with them as well, and probably some other lords will join in. I fully expect the High Septon to take up his oath. Maybe I may even arrest him and have the High Septon removed from office. Because yeah, he's actually dishonorably towards me, so... the Florence may join against me. The Florence were loyal, I believe, to Valar some time ago, so... And we're not Valar, so maybe they might go up against us. The Lancers should join me, although they don't really like me that much, but I am... We're close related to Lannisters, so they should. The Scales will join me. The Targaryens here might turn against me. Possibly the guy in the Stepstones. Which would be a shame, because his sister's married to my... Or about to be married to my heir. And... Yeah, maybe some other lords. Hayford might oppose me, possibly. But everyone else should join me. The Ironborn, I don't know what they're doing. They're still currently fighting their rebellion. They dealt with that Harlaw thing. And he's since stripped them off that. The Harlaws aren't even... It wasn't even the Harlaws. It was House Blackiron. The Harlaws are still alive, but they don't have any lands anymore. Are definitely like a shadow of their former selves. So yeah, I expect all that war to kick off shortly, which I'll start in a second. But I'm going to show the Kingsguard. So the current Lord Well, actually, where did we start? We had... yes, the previous Lord Commander. Well, we're going back a bit. So Sefton was... He died of winter fever. Oliver died of a natural death. And he had Kujul, Blackmont, who got killed by this guy, who was unfortunately killed by... If he had lived, I would have made him a King's Guard, actually. But he died of by this guy, a Kozonka, who is actually a descendant of Hugh Hammer. And he's actually still alive, which is quite funny. Did he join my court, or did I already... I think I already did that, didn't I? Zachary, who was the King's Guard, he took over and he tried to become basically evil. And he tried to start... He basically joined the whole King's Guard rebellion. The second time round, I think. Or was it the first time? I think it's the first round. And he was then sent to the wall and eventually died of the flu. Alaric is now a new Lord Commander. I think he was the one that opposed me, but... It might be Zachary, actually, I think. No, it was him, wasn't it? And he's now since taken over, but he's kind of old and he's got cancer and he'll probably be dead soon. So, yeah. But he's Lord Commander. We've also got Sir Lancel Cinders, who is a really good fighter. Old age is the only thing that's holding him back, but he is really good. So he's from the King's Guard. I got Sir Herrick Lefford, who is looks to be a warrior son, I think. But I could be wrong. He's now a drunkard, unfortunately, but he is a very good, a decent knight. He was knighted by a petty lord, though. But he's a hunter. He's pretty good. And he also was disinherited, so I assume he did something that was... I'm not too sure, but... Yeah, no idea. But anyway, he's a King's Guard member. He's homosexual, so maybe he was disinherited because he was gay, but I no idea. So Axel Wimstaff is not a member of the King's Guard. He is a descendant of a Rosby bastard. So he has some sort of royal... not royal, but he has some sort of nobility to him. So Tristan was a Lord my master of... Was he the guy that I think died in trial by combat, but I reloaded and he didn't die. He was the master of... Wasn't he the court tutor or something or other? But he's pretty good. So I named him to the King's Guard as sort of a reward for all his loyalty, and that he's probably too old to have any children. His grandfather was a commander of Goldtown, actually. His father was a knight as well, and so yeah. But he's a member of the King's Guard. Not the best King's Guard, but like it's just the best people I could find. Sir John is an old King's Guard, but he's actually really good. He's a sword legend. So he must obviously be a legendary knight. So I gave him a seat in the King's Guard. He's a formidable fighter as well, so he's pretty damn good. So I thought that was good enough for him to be in the King's Guard. So Desmond Cox is another King's Guard member. His father was actually sent to the wall. Yeah, the Coxes have not done too well. But I gave him some honor, and I gave him the seat. His mother is a Tully. So I gave him the King's Guard title. I would like noble people to be on the King's Guard, but this guy's kind of ruined the little pattern, doesn't he? So we'll see. But I assume that Zachary will be expurged from the King's Guard and forgotten about as a traitor. The dragons, yes, dragons. Okay, so a bunch of dragons hatched recently, thanks to me. I won't go through the whole family tree, so we'll be here all day, but I'll go through who has dragon eggs and then go through the list, basically. Balon has a dragon egg, which he nicked from Aegon somehow. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe Aegon gave it to him. I'm not too sure, but either way, he has a dragon egg, so watch out for that. Wendell also has another dragon egg, which is the Greyfire one, which... The dragon that died against my dragon many years ago. Well, nearly 40 years ago. So he still holds that dragon egg. Myrish, who is one of Viserys' sons and Mentaris' brother. He has dragon egg and is riding one at the moment. Praetorian. Taegon Strongwainer, who is the son of Osric Snow and the grandson of Viserys Valyrian. He actually does have a dragon egg. Although it seems... Oh, that was a while ago. He has Chalfire's dragon egg, which is the one that he's currently riding. And Laura Targaryen, who is the other girl who does have a dragon, who controlled Dragonstone, she has the dragon egg as well. Got Famliar, which is a dragon that tried to kill that Aegon had, but he lost and then it tried to kill him and took his leg off. He's still roaming around the drowned Driftmark at the moment. So, that's happening. And then you got Zoklax, who has not been tamed yet, probably because he is shy. So, finding this dragon is not easy to do. But he's miles down over there, so he's not going to be around the corner. Other dragons that were hatched recently, Odoving, who you can tell I was looking into Skyrim names when I did this. Oh, the chair's a bit squeaky. I need to get a new chair soon, but that's on the list. The last descendant of Smaug, Odoving, is here. And he is actually going to be my future son's dragon. I don't think, actually, my sons are going to be able to tame this dragon. Because this one has crazed. And has very low taming chance. We were just lucky to get it, but... Yeah, I don't know if we get that dragon. Maybe eventually my grandson might maybe grab this one. Possibly. If we can find him at the right time, but we'll see what happens. So Odoving, who has a bunch of cool traits. He's a dragon. Obviously. Gostir, which apparently is a Lord of the Rings named dragon, apparently. The name of it anyway. But that's Zoklax's kid. And the grandparent was Syrax. He actually belongs to Sir Davos, So he actually, which isn't tamed, but they have dragons. So Sir Davos, my kin, has a dragon. Parthenax, again, Lord of the Rings. Here's my son Daemon's dragon. And Durna here, which is another dragon from Elder Scrolls. It's Valar's dragon. And we've got Praetorian, who is Myrish' dragon, who is commander of the Paps, apparently. He's in the Vale. Alduin, who has been tamed by Volantene. He currently has his dragon. Seasmoke, who was named in honor of Seasmoke, I imagine. One of Maze's descendants. He is owned by this girl, who is the descendant of Hugh Hammer. So the dragon blood still continues. Egros, which I didn't name, that is Baines' dragon, who is going to be marrying my son soon, hopefully unifying the Targaryen and Celtigar houses, and hopefully we'll have a kid that has Valyrian traits, which would be cool. But she'll considerably improve our relation and our legitimacy on the throne. Chalfire is the Lord Paramount of Dawn's dragon. Aegon is currently Laura's dragon. Sapphire of Sapphire, who was my brother's dragon, but he died. We'll talk about how he died in a second. Helena currently has him, who is the granddaughter of Viserys, who married to Bathan. And Stormcloud, which calls my dragon, which is pretty cool. Now we'll talk about our family. So we love our wife. That marriage, I'm pretty sure, is pretty the only thing going for Aegon at the moment. We did get Duelist, which means our personal combat skill is a lot better than it was before. Oh, that's not it. You may hear some background noise, but I can't do a lot about that. He's currently wearing Aegon's crown, which is fitting because he's Aegon, so that kind of makes sense. Viserys eventually will become king, and he actually be called Viserys the Third, which would be cool. Which is what the Viserys the Third, well, Viserys the Beggar King would have been had he taken the throne. But that marriage is pretty secure. Aegon's daughter's dead, and she got assassinated, and her mother, died. We are still related to the Starks, but we have a very unhappy friendship and love with them. My mother's still alive, Dowager Queen Maria, though she lost a leg, but I'm not actually sure how the hell that happened, but she lost a leg. Valar, unfortunately, the Young, I renamed him the Young. I probably should call him, I can't remember why I renamed him that, but actually, to be honest, I might quickly just call him, I might rename him back to the One Hand, because, yeah, I don't know why I changed that. $48, 17, 8963. Is it One Hand? Yeah, there you go. There you go. I just wanted to do that. So, Valar unfortunately got killed by the bloody Flux, which is unfortunate. And now his previous wife is now married off to Jorgen. But yeah, he died annoyingly, which is a shame. He had a dragon, but yeah, Valar will not be a very significant member of the family, unfortunately, in history. Aegon, the Bold, could have definitely been something, unfortunately, but he wasn't. And Aegon definitely could have been. But unfortunately, Dragon Battles had other plans. And Aegon's ambition had other plans. Well, not Aegon's ambition, Viserys. No, well, Daemon's ambition, really. So, Daemon is basically responsible for the death of all these people. But Aegon lives up to his grandfather and father, I imagine, the White Knight. Viserys, I've renamed the White Crab. I wasn't going to call him White Knight, but obviously Viserys already has that. But I call him the White Crab as an homage to his grandfather, Viserys' grandfather, and the fact that he's already a knight. He was knighted at 12, which is pretty iconic. He's also a skilled fighter. He's brave, ruthless, erudite, so he's fairly intelligent, gregarious, and also got conscientious, which should go into 3 decent traits later on. He is half Lannister, but he is pretty good. I think Viserys will make for a very good king in future. So White Crab I thought was fitting. Haven't got any nicknames for my other sons, but Daemon is currently 7. Married to eventually going to marry the Belmore girl. Valar will marry Scales, who is disinherited actually, so she can't be heir. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe he might be the heir at some point. We'll see. But Princess Rhaenyra is who he's going to marry. Eleanor was recently born, and she is betrothed to Duncan. The name Eleanor, just one that sounded quite nice, so I thought, oh yeah, that's alright. She's quite Lannister looking, so I didn't really want to give her Too much of a Valyrian name. Valar was named in honor of my brother, who of course died around the same time he was born, or just after. And Daemon was named in honor of my grandfather, and Viserys was named in honor of my father. Might have a few maybe named after my uncles, possibly my famous uncles. Well, not so famous uncles, but they had decent names, so I assume they were known to in the history of the Celtigar line, so we might have a few names in honor of them. Maybe Arthur Celtigar might have a name, possibly, but Arthur's like that, so. But I assume Arthur was a legendary fighter, so he probably is known to the world. So we might maybe have someone named after him. Filbert, probably not so much. Although Filbert the Strong was iconic, but his father killed Viserys and killed a bunch of... Yeah, so maybe not. But Arthur maybe could be an option. Roland, of course, died many years ago, probably very much of a notable person. Clement was the Mad, Lord Reaver Clement. And Barthamus was iconic, but got eaten by Cannibal, who's long gone now. Yeah, lineage still continues. There is, didn't Bolland have land at some point? Used to be, yeah. But they lost them. But that's all then. That's all the recap done. So we jump into what will be the rebellion then. And rebellion has erupted. Aegon flew to the Starry Sept and demanded the High Septon hand himself over with an armed guard, I would imagine. And the High Septon said, "Okay, I surrender." Saw the size of the dragon and thought, "Yeah, okay, I'm on your side." And so the High Septon decided to hand himself over. However, at that same time, Aegon sent out dispatches to the Martells and also demanded them the same thing. Hand over your lands, surrender, basically submit yourself towards the king and for a trial, or face the annihilation of, or face the dragon, or face the might of House Celtigar and the dragons. House Martell and Stormlands and the Reach, as you can see, said fuck off and declared war with their allies and called them together to put down the Celtigars once and for all. At that same time then, the Night's Watch also decided to declare war, who likely for independence, as they're kind of sick of the whole, yeah, we probably kind of had enough of the whole, of us, the Iron Throne controlling the Night's Watch, so they demanded independence, and some Sunset Isles also declared war against us, with the support of House Greyjoy from the Isles, who have recently finished their civil war. And now, the Seven Kingdoms have erupted in the civil war once more. The Isle, the Rexstone, Bathan still is with us, though he does have a non-aggression pact, that's probably why. And the Lannisters still stay loyal, considering the fact that we are married to his sister. Also, while at the same time, just south here, the Western Isles declared independence. Essentially, the Lords over here, and I'll go over that in a second, but Aegon Scales join us, the Freys, Starks are with us. Lannisters betrayed us. And Simon Targaryen of Dragonstone. Who? Who the hell is that? I have no idea who the hell that guy is, but whoever that is also okay. Anyway, so basically, John Belgrave, who was until recently a illegitimate son, has declared himself Sea King, and now has declared war and basically grabbed all these little lands and declared himself independent. And Sea King. I don't think it's a nickname for Sea King, so I couldn't give it to that, but couldn't give him that, but he's declared himself the Pirate and the Sea King, and he's declared himself King, Lord of these Western Isles, usurping the previous owners and taking it for himself. So he's now independent, and he is actually a member of House Belgrave. I can declare Dragon Conquest, which I'll do later, we've got more important things to do, but he is one of the many sons of Lord Tristan Belgrave. He's not the heir, though. That goes to, well, because their succession is seniority for some reason. I don't know why that's so prevalent in Westeros. But anyway, this guy's rebelled against us. Now we will need to deal with the rebellion. The Crackclaw Point guys betrayed us. Hayford's betrayed us. The Mannings have betrayed us. The Tharians have betrayed us. And the Langwoods have also betrayed us. So yeah, we don't stand quite alone. But we have the Vale, who for some reason hasn't gone independent as normal. Which is fine. I will take their armies and take them with us. And the Starks with us have to go deal with the Night's Watch. The Greyjoys have declared war on us. The Lannisters, I wonder, probably would have done, but the non-aggression pact has probably pull them away. The Reach has declared war with us. They have no love for us anyway. And the High Septon has submitted himself to be arrested. Also, while we attacked Old Town with our dragon, we came across a fellow who was impressed by our attack. I'm also going to send these rivals away. No, I can't, but we'll do that at some point. But while we had arrived, we had gained the interest, and suddenly the sort of, oh wow, this guy's got a dragon, this guy's really cool. I'm going to join him. And a man from... he's here somewhere. There is. Saiban joined us, who is a decisive commander, and he's come over from ET and has heard of our legendary power, and said, you know what, I'm going to go help you guys out. And so he has. I'll marry off to Rhaenyra, the Tower of the Hand, as well. As, so we get a member of House Kai here. I might be giving him some land if he proves himself loyally. Some other people I will try and arrest. Maybe not, actually. I don't know why I can arrest Vale. I can arrest him for some reason. Maybe because he fought against me, but I'm not sure. Don't know. We'll leave that for now. I think if there's any problems from them, we'll call it in. But that Kingsguard guy is going to be dead soon anyway, the way it's going. So we will call the High Septon for a trial. I'll make sure I've got a council set up. Temporary council for now. Conrad can take charge. You can probably hear some stuff in the background, but I can't do anything about that. The garden takes priority. So we're calling for a trial. I don't know if I can make him drop the... No, I can't nab that off him. We're calling for a trial, though. And he can submit himself. Let's call the banners. I shouldn't have called them over there. Look, that's miles away. I don't know why the Vale... And this is odd, but the Vale has 40,000 troops. And 80,000 when I ride them up. Not quite sure why that is, but I'll take the 80k if that's... I'm going to split them up again, I think, because there's just quite a few of them. The mountains is not going to be great for attrition. So I'm going to send 20k. Oh, that's fine. They can stay there. 9 stars. No, you still are. Right, that way you guys can go over there and then just sort... Yeah, I'll deal with you later. We need to rally up these guys. So let's just chuck them into this army up here. We got these guys here that I might pull back towards the Riverlands. Go beamed up the Freys. Ironically, the Freys are probably our fiercest loyalist vassals, which is funny. I'm going to send this army here with the king. He's going to go march straight down here. I'm going to get the king to take this army, and we're going to join up with our Lord Commander. I'm going to basically just take out those guys. Yeah, I'll leave it for now. I've got this army over here led by 9k. I'm going to go over and grab up the scale forces and then lead our offensive into over there. I'll deal with that in a second, but I'll probably send one of the armies up to against the Night's Watch to deal with them. But essentially, he's declared a war against the tyranny. The Sunset Isles declared independence, along with the Greyjoys seeking to get their own independence. The Night's Watch is basically just trying to depose us so they can get their independence. I couldn't, unfortunately, make them join the same war. I kind of wanted them to be like a separate independence war, but it didn't work. These guys are the only thing I've got. I wanted the Night's Watch to join that war, but they can't for some reason. I did plan for these guys. Where's my ship? I did want these guys as well to join against me, but unfortunately, it didn't work because he had a non-aggression pact with me, and so does Lannister. They have non-aggression pacts, but he's not come to my aid, so that makes it a little bit more harder for us. And this guy was independent, which wasn't my plan. I was going to have him rebel against me as well, but that didn't work. So he's now independent, but that's fine. We also have some temporary roles for now. Cupbearer, let's make him all my friends. So Davos, he shouldn't betray me, hopefully. Anyone have... Oh, does anyone have a dragon, actually? Not that I need them, but... No, you don't. Your wife would be handy, but... she can be the commander there. So we've got a couple of commanders. We've got Tristan Belgrave. We've got the Black Margot, the Lord Commander. Lady Alara, my aunt. I've got this girl, Ellen Hart, who's actually quite a good military commander. So we're... My mother's a commander. This Galbert, who's actually my rival, is a commander, which is ironic, really. But if he dies, he dies. This guy's now on my commanders, so that's good. Okay. I don't know who to deal with the Veil stuff. I might... Yeah, we'll just see what happens. Okay, let's begin. I've got a load of money, because I spent money getting that guy over here, because there was an option for it. They're going straight for the army. So they have a dragon. No. I'm going to go intercept them with... Ban will intercept them. Yeah, go over there, actually. All these 8k can go down here with Galbert. This army here. Let's see if we can intercept them, actually. Yeah, Tristan can try and intercept them, I guess. Yeah, stay there and see if they come to you. Can't be in two places at once, annoyingly. But if I send that army up there, I might dissuade them. And I'll let Aegon take charge of this. And eventually Aegon will get down there. These guys just push on them. These guys know so... Well, they stay there for a minute. Right, these guys can go over here. I Seven Demon... Oh, who's this has joined us? Erinford. Oh, I was going to say one of the Clawmans, but whoever the hell has controlled that. These guys don't like me very much, so they've declared against me. No, I don't know who Simon Targaryen is. I'm going to have to look into that later. We've been lacking a commander, so let's just grab... Who the hell left? Not sure. Was it the Hardy? No, it couldn't have been. Anyway, let's do a trial. Made a poor case. Oh, great. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not done with this guy. I'm going to imprison him later. Because of this guy, he won't let me bloody become unexcommunicated, which is a pain in the neck. So I'm going to try and have him kidnapped. Or incite him to revolt. That would look good. Alright, let's go back and see if we can get on our side. Osney, yeah, we'll take you. For a bit of gold, of course. And if I send my Spy Master down here... we've got 300k here, actually. No, not 300k, that's a bit much. I'm not quite sure what to do with this army. Actually, this army... actually could grab... These guys, yeah, that's a good idea. 300. Well, that might quite be enough. Let's just send 100 fleets. 100 fleets? Let's go with that. And I'll send these guys over just to reinforce them. It's not enough to pick them up, unfortunately, but it might be enough to spirit them away if they get intercepted, I guess. Yeah, this guy, I'm stupid enough to put him in charge because he's not that great. Unfortunately. Right. Right, they're going to come for me anyway. I can't be in two places at once, annoyingly. So can I get them out of there? No. I thought they would have stopped for this army coming, but obviously not. So I guess we just have to keep going. That's fine. Okay, cool. I'm going to have to defend here a minute. For a dragon and battle. We might have enough time just to get up there and help. He's been maimed. Good. Come on, win that battle quickly. Come on, you routed them. You routed them. Come on. 18th. Fuck. No, I can't get him out of there. I may lose the army there. I can't do anything to save them, unfortunately. So if you stand your ground, grab some decent commanders, and just hold, basically. If you can, that'd be brilliant. And that didn't do enough. That might do it, though. Those guys are really crap, so they might actually lose that. You guys can move a Rosby. You guys can just What are you guys doing? Just one of you guys there. A minute, that'd be great. That commander's going to take command of that. I'm going to send 20,000 up this way. And you're going to deal with Ereford. Erenford. And I'm going to send another 20k up here to go straight to the Night's Work. Good God. Half the North isn't revolt. Not revolt, but like half the North isn't really keen with Celtigar rule at the moment. You guys go to Harrenhal. You guys just... I don't know, go over there for now. We'll move you over in a second. Unfortunately, they're going to move out of that. Okay. We won that battle. We've captured Sagunsa. Let's have him sent somewhere. We'll leave him there for now. Right, you guys taking that? Let's move up there quickly. Aegon has finished the battle in time because they were delayed, thankfully. Good. Actually, to be honest, you guys probably should... Actually, no, you'll catch them, so go over there and join with that army. That battle's taking place. We've routed one on their side. We've routed two of their flanks. So it might be a victory for us there. And, oh shit, this guy's been killed. He was captured, but then was killed. So, what was it? Which one? Which one is... I'm going to assume there was three things were said. It was rumoured to have happened that the Kingsguard was either captured, or he was killed in battle, and I think he's been slain. Although he's been captured quite a lot, apparently. Okay. You think you've told me enough, guys? Thank you. Jesus. Okay. Alright, so he's dead. Killed by Lord Eustace, actually, who's actually a pretty good commander. Who the hell was Lord... Was that the Lord? I know, he died. Oh, no, that was ages ago. No, that is the Lord. Oh, because I think it's sonority succession again. Confusing me, damn it, but he's a good fighter, so yeah, I'm not surprised he died. But yeah, we have to deal with a replacement in a second. That was unfortunate. I think they're not going to get attacked. They're taking a long time to get over the river, aren't they? Jesus. Oh, Daemon's having a revolt. That's handy for us. Idiotic Greyjoys fighting amongst themselves. I'm going to lose that battle there. Galbert Mormont, who hates my guts. Yeah, not a good idea. Terrible idea, game. Terrible idea. Right, if you guys want to deal with them. In fact, if Aegon wants to go deal with them, go for it. I'm going to send them to reinforce, but the rest of the armies can just deal with... Actually, that army should probably be fine. If I put a decent commander like her in charge, she would probably be okay. Oh, crap. Oh, no, no, no. I thought there was a big army coming. That's alright, we're okay. Those guys will die. He died, unfortunately. We'll deal with a replacement shortly. Aegon's going to move in Strongcliff, and we're going to go upwards and just hit them, basically, is the idea. Oh, crap, he died. Lord Tristan died, unfortunately. Got killed by Stannis. Damn. So that's another Lord dead. And now Lord Osmond is now in charge. Who likes me a bit more, so that's good. Oh, God, you're actually losing. Where did the 5k come from? Oh, dear. That's not great for you guys, is it? Jesus. And the Baratheon army did turn around and hit them. Okay. We need to sort out a King's Guard, so let's have a look. So Axel Wimstaff, he's pretty good. Cinders, you are pretty good. You're quite old, though. And you're lowborn. Oh, no, you're not. No, no, that's a lie. I like to have older members in the King's Guard. I like to have it, because it says the most senior and able of the 7 White Cloaks. So it has to be someone who's fairly old, but is still, like, competent to use a sword. who isn't affected by old age. And to be honest, this guy's pretty good. Sir John is great, but I also want him to be nobility in there, so Cinders is probably a good choice, to be honest. I kind of want someone who's more of a well-known house. And Wimstaff is sort of... So John's so much better, though, isn't he? But to be honest, the drunken thing is the only thing letting him down. So 132, 75, 105. I'm thinking that guy, to be honest. But again, he's a low-born house. Maybe it should be Axel, or should it be this guy? Cinders is better. He's not drunk. Not drunk. That's not right. He's a bit more couth as well. Although we are at war, I like probably more military commanders. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna name this guy the Lord Commander. King's Guard wise, got Gunsler Aegon. He's actually not bad, apart from the wounded, depressed, and drunken. Yeah, apart from those three, he'd be pretty good. But he's young, so he probably should be alive. And he is an Aegon. He is of a noble house. The Aegons did fight against me, but that was a distant lineage. So, I'll see if he accepts. And he did. Although his wife was actually beheaded, by his own... so that's probably why we should make him a Kingsguard, because his wife